discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to. This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren. And above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The Rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitous. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You, too, will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We will be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
Are there already candidates to be the new abbot?
Brothers John and Nevlas. But the others have been fighting like dogs because of them. We don't have to fight about anything, though.
Tell me something about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He's what they call the provost. He'd like to bring back solemnity to the monastery through reform and by returning to pure faith. A lovely idea, but most of the monks are against it.
This John, who is he?
A circator, and really just an unpleasant old man. It's mostly the older brothers on his side, because they believe he'll protect the status quo and all the benefits that come with long service here.
Why can't novices vote?
They say we don't have enough experience to decide about anything. Don't worry, we'll get our chance.
Why is who wins so important?
We're young and we'll spend the rest of our lives here. And the abbot decides everything about our lives. Didn't it ever occur to you how powerful he is?
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
That's not important.
Why are you telling me this anyway? What do you want from me?
Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, and all the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought. Thanks for your help, and please don't say a word to anyone.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
Peace be with you, brother.
feel quite hungry.
This is not a good time for questions, brother.
Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence. Or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be sent rather early at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, the rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence...
Talk to me, brother.
Permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nevlis, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth.
Praise be to Christ.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Brother, save your excuses for someone else. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
Deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli,
You've got a strong constitution. Anyone else would have certainly died.
What happened?
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. He was lost and miserable. He had no future. He was tempted by his friends into doing some foolish things, but he wasn't truly bad, because when it came down to it, he ran away rather than keep doing foolish deeds. His former friends didn't take kindly to that, though, and wanted to punish him. So they sent a hunting dog to find him and rip his throat. The boy wasn't stupid, though, and he knew that the hound was coming. He poisoned some food, and when the hound showed up, he gave it to him. He didn't expect the beast to live, but it did. And all of a sudden, the boy was sorry for what he tried to do. So he offered to make a bargain with the hound.
I think I understand you. But the beast would need to know what deal he's being offered.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery, I've had plenty of time to think things over. But then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. And what exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace, and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
You're right. But the people who sent me will find out if I don't kill you.
They won't if we're clever about it. No one has to die. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Salarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know how to use them, they'll be worth finding. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the prior. He carries them with him at all times.
They both sound hard to me. But needs must. And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
All right, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Brother? Save your excuses for someone else. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
Such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting, As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation.
Peace be with you, brother.
But simply in his heart, and even though
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live up. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brothers glutton.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rules of the order to make them fit their...
What sins are you talking about?
The scripture says that he who is without sin... I'm sorry, Gregor, it's not my place to...
I'll be interested to know more about Brother John.
I don't like to speak ill of people, but Circuitor John is the worst person the monks... He's won the older brethren over because they know he won't call an end to their debauch.
Can you tell me about Abbot Peter?
Peter's wise in the ways of politics and a good shepherd, but as you've already heard, But you, brother, don't let your...
With what?
I'm interested in medicine, and
You can count on my help.
In order to get the recipe... I, however, think if God... The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our life.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult... It's nonsense, of course. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna.
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not... No one will notice if one book is...
Is there anything you...
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers.
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of...
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think...
I'm ready.
One more important thing. They say Brother Salarius understands locks, but we'll soon have the election.
Listen, brother, is there anyone in the monastery who can help?
I can't help you there. Brother Salarius might.
I found this piece of parchment.
The words mean nothing to me. Ask in the...
Is there any way I could help?
What would you like to do? Climb?
Not exactly.
John isn't myop, but there is something you could help me with.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in...
Very good, then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
I'm interested in the election of the new abbot.
You're not alone. Everyone's so worked up about that they spent no time considering how they could...
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomach.
That's all. Thank you.
Peace be with you, brother.
Ah, Gregor. Talk to me.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around?
Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery, but you won't see.
And what happens when the old...
Then we elect a new...
Are there any candidates to be the new abbot?
Yes, there are. Brothers... On one side are brothers who'd like to see John as abbot.
Tell me about John.
John is a Sacator, and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural.
I'd like to know about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property, although perhaps he's too keen to...
Why does it matter so much?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The older brothers...
I thought politics weren't part of the monastery.
You're right, but...
Are there ever any
Unfortunately, yes.
Tell me something about it.
The old abbot is
Tell me something about life.
Prayer, work,
Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
The fundamental precepts are obedient.
Do you never want to know what's...
And what should be good?
I'm interested in the monastery.
It was founded by St. Procopius 500...
Heretics, you said?
They wanted to worship...
What are the roles of the...
Well, the abbot is the head. As a...
What can you tell me about...
What can I...
I meant something specific.
But you know them, Antonius is hard...
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't...
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. I want you to prepare 2 marigold decoctions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. What troubles you?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Brother, what will become of you? Oh, well, perhaps tomorrow you'll do better. Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something. Can you leave?
Where would you go?
What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested to hear about any iniquity in the monastery.
Is there any way I could help you get elected?
What would you like to do?
Not exactly.
John isn't one, but there is some...
That doesn't sound like something I could...
Pity?
I'm interested in the...
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think more about their stomachs than prayer. The older brethren bend the rule.
I'll be interested...
He's one the old.
What?
I'd like to change.
That's all.
Peace be with you. Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'd like to ask you something. Who's in charge of things?
Abbot Peter is the administrator.
And what happens when the old abbot dies?
Then we elect a new...
Is there any way I could help?
What would you like to...
Not exactly.
John isn't my... But there is something...
That doesn't sound like something...
Pity. And
I'm interested in the...
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think...
What sins are you... Tell me something...
When he becomes abbot...
That's all. Thank you.
Peace be with you, brother. What is it, brother?
What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested to hear about any
I'd like to ask you... I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. What do you want me to find?
I'd be interested to hear...
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'd like to ask you something.
Talk to me, brother.
I'm interested in...
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Many brothers think...
Tell me something about...
When he becomes...
I'll be interested... What?
I'd like to change.
That's all.
Peace be with you, brother. What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you... What can you tell me...
What can I...
I meant something specific.
But you know them. You're... Antonius...
What are the... Who's in charge? And what...
Then we elected...
Tell... Can you... What do you want me to find out?
I'd be interested...
What do you want me to...
I'd be interested to...
I'm interested in the...
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Many brothers think...
What sins are you... Tell me something about...
When he becomes he's one of the old...
What?
I'd like...
That's all.
What troubles you?
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
Well done, brother. No mistakes.
What is it, brother?
I've heard there are some forbidden books locked up.
That's correct. They're here.
What if I just wanted to take a peek? Could I?
You could not. They...
Fine then. Could a book be prohibited by mistake?
No errors are made.
How does a book get on the forbidden list?
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft.
What if I just wanted...
You...
Not even if I were to beg?
If you could prove to me that you truly like books, then maybe.
I don't need to hear anything else. I've heard about Avicenna.
Who told you about...
I found this...
It appears...
Ovid? What is that?
Not what, but who? Now I believe I can guess what happened. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't... I imagine he hid them throughout...
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The art of...
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Get away from our cabinet. The books stood in there out for your eyes to see.
What troubles you?
Is it possible to learn...
Only the abbot.
And can I see them?
No.
I found a few pages. I'd like to...
Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them. Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Oh, you're interested in what? The devil himself. Forget about that.
What would you like?
I'd like to ask you something. I found a few pages of the...
Wonderful. Keep looking then.
This looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
Stockbreaker.
Go away. Novices aren't allowed here.
brother. You were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where...
I've had enough of this. You'll never put me in seclusion.
You dare resist punishment? Let me remind you, brother, you will suffer the consequences of your deeds.
I apologize. I shall serve my time in solitary confinement.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that's not allowed in the monastery.
I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humble, and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment of sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples were taught to be silent and listen. For that reason, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open.
Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Are there ever any disagreements?
Unfortunately.
I understand. Who's in charge of things? I'd like to ask you something. Who would you like to be?
What kind of...
Talk to me, brother.
I'd like to ask you something. What are the roles? Who would you like?
Brother John?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Tell me something about...
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
These novices might pull those idlers by the ears.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
Shirking their responsibilities, leaving us, their superiors, to chase around after them, finishing what they don't.
Did you have to finish someone's weeding in the garden again?
Yet again. I've had enough of it.
Salve Domine. What would you like?
I finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. What troubles you?
I'm interested in the
You're not alone.
Why? What's wrong with it now?
Many brothers think...
Tell me something.
When he becomes...
That's all.
Peace be with you, brother.
Salve. Be well.
Talk to me, brother.
What do you desire?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. My boy, what have you done?
God be with you.
Talk to me, brother.
Same time not to overburden them.
Peace be with you,
Drive them
brother.
away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict the first degree of purity is obedience without fear. disciple obeys with an ill will.